Hey guys, my name is Anthony and today I am bringing you my 2022 Kia Stinger Borla active valved exhaust in-depth review. We're going to go over the difference between sport mode and comfort mode, and I'm going to try and explain to you guys how it all sounds and how it all, you know, like kind of a comparison of the difference between the two modes and just how the exhaust sounds overall. But before we do that, let me just walk you around the car real quick and then we will get on the way. So as you guys can see, this is my 2022 Kia Stinger GT2 Scorpion Edition. It is a limited kind of like a limited production model for the Stinger. They made a package of it. I'm not quite sure how many they made, but it is a little bit more rare. So as you can see, it's in ceramic silver. We have the blacked out wheels with the Brembo brakes. I did go ahead and I added this front lip. Please excuse the car, it is very dirty today. 35% tint all around, lowered on Eibach lowering springs, which just sets it perfect. The Scorpion Edition also adds the rear spoiler, which I think just looks beautiful. Scorpion Edition also adds this rear diffuser. And the Borla exhaust is down there. You can see the valve right in there, right there. Yeah, overall, beautiful car. I did add the side lip too. It is fading though. Yeah, such an awesome car. Let me go ahead and show you guys the interior real quick. The red interior package. Scorpion Edition also adds the carbon fiber trim pieces instead of the aluminum. I don't believe they're real carbon fiber, but you know, they do kind of have that weave effect. You can kind of feel it a little bit, but I don't think it's real carbon fiber. Nonetheless, it doesn't feel cheap either, so that's nice. Once again, sorry, car's a little dirty, but yeah, red leather seats. Love the stitching that goes along right here that they added for the 2022 and up models. And yeah, so I think the best way to show you guys the exhaust is to go ahead, let's turn off auto stop start, seatbelt on, and let's go. All right guys, so here we are on the 405 going north towards the 118. As you can see, we're in traffic right now at 228. So this section of the video, I just want to go over the exhaust noise basically on highway, basically in comfort mode and sport mode, and the differences between it. So my overall impression is that in comfort mode, it's pretty good. You know, if you're just on cruising speed, like right now, you don't hear any noise. But once you start to get a little bit on the gas, depending on your throttle input, you do start to hear a little bit of a hum. So but it's nothing too crazy. If you guys know what the stock exhaust sounds with the valve, to me it sounds pretty much on par with how the stock exhaust sounds in sport mode. Just a little hum. And obviously if you're playing music, that hum goes away, but for the most part that noise is there. Just if you give it the right amount of throttle. It looks like we're gonna hit a little bit of traffic right here. So you see right there, I gave it a nice amount of throttle just to get up to speed a little bit quicker, and you are able to hear a little bit of drone just from giving it a little bit more throttle input. But for the most part, if you're just cruising and maintaining speed, you're not going uphill, for the most part, it's pretty quiet. So right here, I'm going to demonstrate what happens if you try and use some passing power. So you do hear it. It's definitely not as loud as sport mode, but you do hear it. It's not going to be as quiet as stock. I mean, it is still a modified exhaust at the end of the day. Let's see if I can get over again. But you can see now we're at the speed limit. We're at 65 miles per hour. And I'm just cruising. And it's pretty quiet for the most part. You know, uphill right here to maintain a little bit of speed. Giving a little bit more throttle input. You do hear a little bit of hum. But, you know, if you're playing music or anything, you're 100% not going to hear it. So, cruising speeds. It's a wonderful exhaust. Absolutely, you know, for what I expect out of this car, it's perfect, you know. Comfort mode is just quiet enough at cruising speeds. It's not too loud when you are, you know, accelerating, trying to pass someone. You hear it, but it's nothing crazy. Now, I'm gonna switch it over to sport mode and watch. I'm gonna hold my throttle. I'm gonna hold the throttle. I'm gonna put it into sport mode. You're gonna hear the difference. Hear that? Very big difference. Back to comfort, and we'll put it back into sport right now once we pass this truck. Hold on. Going a little downhill. You can see how much louder it gets once you put it into sport mode. And then now we're just gonna cruise in sport mode on the highway, and I'm pretty much maintaining speed, but you can hear the drone. Let's put it into 8th, bringing the revs down a little bit. We are in 8th gear, but I'm a little too close to this truck. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into comfort mode and just listen to the difference. Gone. Drone completely gone. So at cruising speeds, you will get a little bit of drone. In sport mode, in my opinion, it's not crazy or anything, but it's 100%, you know, it's 100% there. And you know, if you're playing music, you'll hear it a little bit over the music, but depending how loud you are playing the music, of course. So for demonstration, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in 8th gear, and I'm gonna switch it over to sport. Okay, a lot more noise happening there. So let's try and accelerate a little bit in sport, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in comfort. Big difference. Very, very big difference. It's the The one thing this car was missing. Noise. Who would have thought? Noise makes cars more fun. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way to Little T, but there is a tunnel right here, so we are gonna have to put our windows down. We're gonna use the paddle shifters and get a little bit of speed in that tunnel, since this is the only tunnel that I believe we will be passing today. So, windows down. And collision telling me I'm going too fast right there. Definitely a good sounding exhaust for this car. So let's see real quick in comfort mode how it sounds when going in stop and go situations. So we're coming to a stop right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and gently accelerate. We are up to speed, 30 miles per hour. So as you can see, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up, but you know, in stop and go situations in comfort mode, you are going to hear a little bit of the exhaust. Once again, it's an aftermarket exhaust, a much smaller muffler, smaller resonators. You're going to hear it. So we'll go ahead and do that again. I am going to accelerate just a tad bit quicker so you guys can get a sense of how it sounds like that. And we are up to speed. Right now we are cruising about 40 miles per hour. And sound is actually pretty quiet, especially going on that uphill section right there. But as you can see, we are entering the canyons. And we are already catching up to traffic, so I'm going to slow down a little bit and kind of just talk about the sound. So one thing I love about the Borla exhaust is that, especially this exhaust, I haven't actually heard the old version in person, but this exhaust sounds a little more exotic to me. You know, like I almost get like an exotic car kind of type sound from this exhaust, which I much prefer. You know, when I look at this car, I see more of a exotic car, you know, rather than a muscle car, even though some people do like to say the Stinger is Korea's muscle car, you know, to take on the Mustang, the Challenger, and the Camaro. But to me, I feel like the looks of this car just look more exotic. Now, maybe that's because I have the Scorpion edition and, you know, I have all the black accents and whatnot. So, you know, keep that in mind. That's just how I feel. So for me personally, I feel like an exotic sounding exhaust suits the car a little bit better. Use the paddle right there. Brakes, downshift. And we are once again catching up to our friend right here. So I'm going to slow down a little bit, let him get some distance, and talk about what we just heard. So I'm hoping that the sound comes out on camera good. I will slap the GoPro on the back of the car and let you guys hear how it sounds. You know, on the outside, and I'll do a couple flybys later. But I think the exhaust sounds great. You know, you get on it, and like I said, it sounds kind of exotic. I don't have any mods installed right now. I do have a JB4, but it's not installed at the moment. The only performance mod, if you can even call it that, that I have on the car is a drop-in K&N filters, which, you know, is not really doing much. Do I feel a power increase with the exhaust? My butt doesn't say so, but you know, the sound does make it more enjoyable in a way, and does kind of give you that sensation that maybe there is a little more power just because this car was missing noise. This is one of my favorite sections of Little T, so drop it down, get on it a little bit. Catching up to the truck. It's always traffic. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll throw it back into comfort mode throughout this section right here, which I would have so very much liked to have gone a little bit quicker in. That's okay, this is what we deal with, right? So yeah, sport mode definitely has a little bit more of an exotic sound. It's a little bit more higher pitched than some of the other exhausts that I've heard in person and that I've heard online. And I think personally it just suits the car a lot better. What is that? Wow, that guy's car was chrome in 20 different colors. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, sorry. The outside of the car, it definitely sounds very nice. Definitely sounds exotic on the outside of the car too, which hopefully the camera on the outside will pick up. So for this next section, because I do plan on downshifting a little bit, put it back into sport mode, I'm gonna roll all my windows down. All right, and we're gonna use the paddles. All right. Oh man. man. Wow. Okay, let's roll the windows up real quick and just talk about that. I'm telling you guys, if anyone tells you that a Stinger can't handle, gladly show them this video. I'm gonna go ahead and put the car back in comfort mode real quick and just take it a little easy. We're in comfort mode right now. Just keeping an eye on my temps. Just cruising, but you can see right now we are in comfort mode. Had to give it a little bit of gas just to keep my speed up, and you know, a little bit of drone, but nothing too crazy. What happens if we're just cruising in sport mode in the canyons? Automatic, no paddles will be used right now. Well, yeah, as we're coming up to the pit stop that I have up here, let me just leave it on these final notes about the exhaust and my overall impressions. And as you can see, a little bit of drone, but we are in sport mode, like I said, going uphill. More throttle is needed. So yeah, Borla active valved exhaust, in my opinion, at least for all the Stingers that I've heard in person, and for the most part that I've heard online, you know, aside from some that have the burbles. And you know, one thing I will mention that I'm bringing up burbles is that there is actually quite a lot of burbles from this exhaust. You know, if you're not playing any music and you're paying really close attention on D-cell, you do get some burbles, and it does sound very nice. It's nothing obnoxious, you know. I doubt anyone outside of the car is really gonna hear it unless it's, you know, dead silent outside. But you do hear it in here, and it sounds, you know, insane. It's definitely a good time. But yeah, 2022 Kia Stinger Borla active valve exhaust. Final thoughts on it. If you're looking for a good exhaust, you know, that keeps the valve, that uses the OEM valve, I think this is the way to go. I know MBRP has an option. I've heard how it sounds on, you know, YouTube videos. I have not heard how it sounds in person, but based on the YouTube videos, it does not sound like it's doing all that much. And that is quite a bummer, because I was very excited for that exhaust coming out. But it seems like we're getting more options now. In case anyone's wondering, Borla did use my car as the R&D car to make the exhaust. At the time that this video is going to be posted, we're gonna go turn it off. At the time that the video is more than likely going to be posted, They should be coming out with the exhaust in about 4 months, I would say. Gonna go ahead and pop my hood. Let the engine cool down a little bit. I do have an oil catch can, but you know. We'll get back in the car real quick and we'll tell you a little bit more. So yeah, if you're looking for something with just a good amount of volume, you know, in sport mode, it's, you know, perfect in my opinion. It's probably how the car should have came from factory. You know, it's maybe on par with the Mustang GT with like an H pipe added or X pipe added, you know, stock exhaust, but just adding, you know, an H or X pipe. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys would like any other videos on my car. I do actually plan on making a review video sometime down the line, just give you guys what I like, what I dislike about the car, everything that I've, you know, gone through in the 18,500 miles that I've had the car now. Wonderful car, you know, for the money, absolutely wonderful car. And as you guys saw, car performs excellent. I mean, we just tackled that back road and car handled it like nothing. So if anyone tells you a Stinger can't take corners or anything like that, or isn't, you know, a great handling vehicle, you know, some Eibach lowering springs, I don't even have sway bars yet, and tackled that canyon like nothing. And I'm still on stock, you know, stock tires. Like, I do have 245s that I plan on adding in the front and 275s that I plan on adding into the rear. So hopefully that helps me with grip a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section. And I am going to end it off with some flybys and some revs. All right.